12 years ago, Garrett Hilbert accidentally broke Kobe Cotton's desk. Today, Garrett is suing Kobe for violating bro code and forcing him to pay for the desk.
Rise up!
Judge, hey.
Please be seated. This is case number 432, Hilbert versus Cotton.
Thank you, officer. How are we doing today?
Good.
Did you get your coffee this morning?
I didn't, you took it.
Ah.
That's fine though.
Mr. Hilbert versus Mr. Cotton. Mr. Hilbert, you are countersuing Mr. Cotton because he forced you to pay $90 for a desk that you originally broke. Now you want your money back because you feel Mr. Cotton broke bro code. Am I understanding that correct, Mr. Hilbert?
Yes, sir, and also countersuing for emotional damages on the friendship over the last 12 years.
What is the total amount, Mr. Hilbert, that you're countersuing for?
$450.
$450? Mr. Cotton, it is not your turn. Please wait. Mr. Hilbert, were you invited to the house?
Yes, Your Honor. We were just having a good, friendly discussion. I leaned against a piece of garbage, unstable desk. It cracked. I was very apologetic, and he proceeded to send me a bill for $90.
Thank you, Mr. Hilbert. Mr. Cotton.
Yes, Your Honor.
What was the date of the incident, Mr. Cotton?
April 2nd, 2007, Your Honor.
Where was the house that you lived in?
I was off campus, sir, in the historic district.
Historic district. You must have a lot of money, Mr. Cotton.
No, sir, it was a rental, sir.
Where were you working at the time, Mr. Cotton?
I was waiting tables at Red Lobster, Your Honor.
Red Lobster. You like lobster?
Actually, no, sir, but I did like the cheese bread, sir.
You like the cheese bread, but not the lobster. How much money were you making an hour at Red Lobster,
It was
Mr.
$8
Cotton?
an hour plus tip, sir.
$8. So you were in a bit of a financial pickle, you might say, Mr. Lobster. I'm going to call you Mr. Lobster from now on, Mr. Cotton. Mr. Lobster, how did you acquire the desk?
I bought it, sir.
You bought the desk with lobster money?
Sure, yes, sir, yes.
What was your major in college?
Communication.
Communication what?
Communication, that was the
You
name
didn't
of the
study hard enough because you're having a hard time communicating with me, Mr. Lobster. Mr. Hilbert, what was your major?
Irrelevant, sir. This was in college,
Mr.
sir.
Cotton, I'm not talking to you right now. Officer Trooper, stay over there. If he talks again, I want you to cuff him. Mr. Hilbert, you're a pretty bright guy. Mr. Hilbert, talk to me, please. Where was the desk from, Mr. Hilbert?
IKEA, I believe, sir.
Did you know the desk was from IKEA at the time, or did you find this out after the fact, Mr. Hilbert?
Looks can be deceiving, sir. I did not know it was
Your
from
Honor,
IKEA.
it was obvious it was
Mr.
IKEA furniture.
Cotton, when I talk to you, then you can talk back to me, Mr. Communication
It
Lobster.
was a terrible desk, Your Honor. It was very
Put
obvious.
the cuffs on him. Officer Trooper, next outburst, you have my authority to bust him with your nightstick if he does anything else. Mr. Cotton, how long had you lived in the house prior to Mr. Hilbert coming over?
About 6 months, Your Honor.
Would you say you had adequate time to set up the house appropriately?
Yes, sir.
How many seats were in the room when the desk was broken?
I had one desk chair, Your Honor.
One desk chair. And how many people were in the room, Mr. Cotton?
I recall 3 or 4 people.
3 or 4 people, and we've got one desk chair in the room. Do you see the problem here, Mr. Lobster?
It was my bedroom, sir.
Mr. Lobster, do you regret breaking bro code?
I did not break bro code,
You
Your
didn't
Honor.
feel bad that you then took your friend, Mr. Hilbert, he accidentally broke your desk, and then you said, you owe me $90.
The broken bro code, Your Honor, was him not offering to pay for the desk, Your Honor. Everything would have been forgiven.
Was there anything else on the desk at the time?
Just a couple of textbooks, sir, and my Bible.
The Bible. WWJD, what, you think Jesus would have made Peter pay for the table if he broke it?
You make a good point, Your Honor.
So are you agreeing to pay the full amount of $450, Mr. Lobster?
Absolutely not. That's outrageous.
Mr. Lobster.
Sir, if he had said $100,000, would
Mr.
you have
Lobster,
said yes?
that's enough, thank you. Due to inflation, emotional side effects, and a complete waste of time on my behalf, I agree with Mr. Hilbert. You owe him $450 and a free lobster meal. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Officer Trooper, I'm finished here. Thank you very much.
Gotta be honest, really happy with the ruling that Judge Dudy gave me today.
I stepped in this courtroom, thought I was going to like Judge Dudy. The guy's a joke.
Should have done this years ago.
What kind of a friend sits on his friend's desk, breaks it, then charges 1,000% interest 10 years later?
Probably should ask for more now I'm thinking about it, but hey, gonna take my $450 and live a happy life.
I'm going to go over to Garrett's house to see if I can break some things. Maybe I'll make a few million.
I think that is one of the best decisions that we have ever